Hello, and welcome back to Enter My Mind. Enter at your own risk. The story you're about to hear is a dark, depressing story about how I cured my depression and the insane route that I took to overcome the struggles I had dealt with for about 3 years. Now, what I'm about to tell you is rather strange. It was something that I did and something I feel like really helped me get through the hard times that I was going through, and I would say it's what made me a stronger person, but it's something that is completely out of the ordinary and goes against everything you would possibly think. So, I used to hate my self-image. I used to hate myself. I used to hate everything about me. And I felt quite undesirable for years. And I've only ever self-harmed myself once, as previously outlined in a different episode. However, there has been times where I've been extremely close, and I'm going to tell you what I did to combat that. There was a lot of times where I would want to hurt myself. I would almost feel like my veins were burning. My arms would get hot, and I'd almost hear voices inside my head asking me to hurt myself. And I would get strong urges to. And part of it was just that I had hated my self-image so much at the time I didn't really think I could hate it much more, and that hurting myself was just a way for me to take out the pain in a physical sense as compared to an emotional sense, and that it was just another way of dealing with things. And what I did is I slept with a knife beside me every single night inside my pillow. So I had a small dagger type blade, and I would take it and put it inside my pillowcase under my pillow every night. And as I laid in bed, thinking about my problems and my struggles, I knew that the knife was inches away if I wanted to end my life. I knew that I could reach under my pillow, quickly swipe it across my throat, and leave this world forever. And I did this every single day. And insanely enough, it healed me. Now, the way it healed me is because every day that I would resist, and every time that I wouldn't go that route of hurting myself, I would feel a little bit better about myself because I overcame my mental demons and didn't allow them to take over. I pushed them aside and fought through it and went another night without hurting or ending myself. And that made me stronger because I felt good about myself for being able to put away those thoughts. And I would do the same thing each night. I would lay in bed, I would have the knife there, and I would get urges to hurt myself. And I'd think about dark things, and the knife was there as an easy way out. And It was something I could always go to. It was something readily available. Sometimes I would pick it up and put it against my arms. Sometimes I would hold it against my throat and push into my throat a bit just to, I don't know, just to feel the pressure of what it would feel like if I ever did actually commit the act. But I never actually tried or full-on committed to an attempted suicide. And I've never actually tried to end my life, but I have held a knife against my throat and pressed into it. I have held it against my arms. I have slept with a knife for a decent amount of time and had that option there. So I would do things with that blade that were similar, but every time I would ultimately resist and not cause a visible scar or not in my life, I grew a bit stronger each day, like I said, knowing that I was able to overcome those thoughts and put them away. And then slowly over time, as I did that, each night that I resisted again, I would now feel more confident in the fact that I could do this often. And I felt good about myself that lots of times I had resisted, and there had been many of times where I was able to push away these thoughts. So I went from someone who was in an extremely bad spot and took a drastic route to help themselves, to someone that felt good about themselves for pushing out the darkness and not allowing their mental demons to take over. And then eventually it became a point where I felt so good about myself for surviving each night that I didn't want a route out anymore. I wanted to stay here and fight, and I knew that I was strong enough to survive through even the hardest of times, and that even though I could take an easy way out and it was only inches away, that no matter how depressed or horrible I felt, I was a strong enough human being to survive that urge, and that's what saved me. Just knowing I was strong enough. And so eventually I didn't need it. Eventually I went to bed every night happy that I was a strong human being and that I had the mental willpower to survive. And to this day, I think, although it was insane, me fighting fire with fire saved me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Enter My Mind. This has been my story of the mental battle I had with myself and the drastic route that I took to change that somehow worked. I look forward to talking to you guys next episode and hope you enjoyed listening. Be sure to subscribe for future videos as I will be doing them daily. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.